Join us as we explore the criticality of a fundamental body of knowledge in supply chain planning called manufacturing resource planning, or as it's called by its familiar acronym, MRPII. In today's fast-moving and complex supply chains, excellence in planning is no longer a competitive advantage. It's a business necessity. At the heart of effective supply chain planning lies manufacturing resource planning, MRPII, a discipline that brings structure, visibility, and control across the entire value chain. MRPII is not just a software module or a technical process, it is a way of running the business where people, processes, systems, and data work in an integrated rhythm to deliver service, cost efficiency, and resilience. When executed properly, MRPII creates the essential backbone that enables businesses to plan realistically, operate efficiently, and adapt dynamically. The success of MRPII begins and ends with people. While technology enables calculations and visibility, it is the knowledge, discipline, and engagement of people that determine whether MRPII thrives or fails. Clear roles and responsibilities must be established. Who owns demand planning, supply planning, capacity planning, procurement scheduling, and financial alignment. Ongoing training and education are critical, not just in system usage, but in the underlying logic and disciplines of MRPII. Cultural commitment is essential. Organizations must foster a culture where process adherence, data ownership, and cross-functional collaboration are non-negotiable. Leadership advocacy matters. Senior leaders must visibly support MRPII as a business discipline, not just an operational tool. Without people who understand and believe in the process, even the most sophisticated systems will underperform. Process rigor, creating discipline, and repeatability. MRPII is fundamentally a process-driven model. Its power comes from standardized, time-phased, cross-functional workflows that enable the business to plan, execute, monitor, and improve consistently. Core MRPII processes include demand management, translating customer and market needs into realistic time-phased demand plans. Master production scheduling, MPS. Creating a realistic, stable production plan that respects both market requirements and manufacturing constraints. Material requirements planning, or as it's known by its familiar acronym little MRP, is a process that generates precise time-phased purchasing and manufacturing orders based on dependent demand. Capacity requirements. Planning, CRP, is the process that matches labor and machine capacity to production requirements. It's not required in its full capability by all organizations, however. Capacity planning, either rough cut or detailed, is required to assess the load on critical resources so as to support the master production plans. Financial integration, ensuring operational plans align with business financial targets. Strong, repeatable processes create predictability, foster trust, and allow proactive management, replacing reactive firefighting with coordinated execution. Systems integration, enabling seamless execution. Technology is the enabler that makes MRPII scalable and visible across the enterprise. However, for MRPII to succeed, systems must be fully integrated and trusted. Technology is key to enabling integration and information that makes MRPII scalable and visible across the enterprise. Real-time data flow. Transactions and planning changes must update as close to real-time as possible and practical across all relevant functions. Another advantage of integrated systems is that they enable scenario modeling and planning. This allows businesses to simulate the impact of various opportunities and risks using different demand, supply, and capacity scenarios to determine the potential impact on the business. Without systems integration, MRP becomes fragmented and loses its power to align the business. Data quality and performance KPIs, the foundation of trust. Accurate data and clear performance measurement are the bedrock on which MRPII disciplines are built. If the system data is poor, if inventory records are wrong, bill of materials are inaccurate, lead times are incorrect, then no amount of planning effort will create a reliable outcome. Equally, without clear KPIs to measure and drive performance, businesses cannot manage or improve their planning processes over time. Critical data elements for MRPII success. Inventory record accuracy. Physical inventory must match system inventory. Target 95% accuracy. We've reviewed this topic in a previous video, and you can access it in the education section of our website. Bills of material must be regularly maintained and reflect real production needs. Bills are a mission-critical component of running MRPII robustly. As with inventory records, a brief video is available on our website as a refresher. Routing and lead time accuracy. Planned production steps and durations must match reality. Customer forecasts, order data, and demand inputs must be timely, validated, and updated. KPIs are a vital component of MRPII and support delivery, agility, and managing change. These would be typically displayed on dashboards with run charts, targets, and tolerances for owners to review and optimize and drive performance. Inventory record accuracy validates the trustworthiness of system-driven planning. Bill of materials. Accuracy measures how precisely the system reflects material requirements. Schedule adherence tracks how well production follows the agreed production plan. Planned versus actual lead times monitors deviations between expected and actual cycle times. It can be a valuable measure in defining the velocity of the key processes in the value chain. Forecast accuracy, expressed as mean absolute percentage error and weighted absolute percentage error, amongst other more granular demand KPI, ensures demand inputs into MPS are reliable and actionable. Plan stability changes per period, measures planning discipline, and highlights unnecessary volatility in the plans. Supplier in full, on-time delivery, or SIFOT, supports the reliability of inbound material flows and is one of a suite of measures that are used to drive collaboration and improvements with our suppliers. Customer service KPIs like delivery in full, on-time, DIFOT, case fill rates, order fill rates, and perfect order are a few of a suite of measures that critique the output of some of the essential element of customer satisfaction. Capacity utilization, percent, assesses efficiency and resource optimization. Exceeding nominal capacity levels, that is demonstrated capacity and maximum capacity levels, means that the plans are approaching unrealistic levels and the supply planning process can be compromised. These and other important KPIs dependent on the industry or area of operations, together with accurate data, create a feedback loop that drives continuous improvement and builds organizational confidence in the MRPII process. This ultimately drives performance both internally with our teams and externally with our customers, suppliers, and partners who are a vital part of the value chain of an organization. Conclusion: MRPII is a platform for operational excellence. Contrary to some opinions, MRPII is not an outdated legacy practice. It is the fundamental discipline that supports modern supply chain agility, operational efficiency, and business scalability. As one leader remarked, MRPII is old school, but good school. It is as critical today as it has ever been. Even new advanced AI planning systems will have their fundamental logic based on MRPII disciplines. When organizations invest in people development, process discipline, system integration, data integrity, and KPI-driven management, MRPII transforms from a background system to a strategic enabler of business performance. Organizations that master MRP2 are not just better planners, they are better performers. At Integratos, we see MRP2 as much more than planning. It enables operational excellence. It is the engine that connects strategy to action, integrates functions, and powers results. If you'd like to find out more about how MRP2 can drive collaboration and performance in your organization, give us a call today. We'd love to hear from you.